Today, I want to spend a bit of time talking about gear and whether or not we need to upgrade. Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. I wanted to spend some time to talk about camera gear. A lot of times we're looking at the new and we all want to jump on that bandwagon. But then you have to consider whether or not you're really ready to get on that next level thing. I can speak for myself here when I'm saying I've been looking at that new FX30 since I saw the presentation on it and some YouTubers video, and I have to say this thing is looking good. Okay, for someone who's doing travel videos now, I am lugging around a lot of gear, and that's just me. So the thing that caught my eye about the FX30 is that it's mainly a video camera. Being mainly a video camera is something that I'm looking for, and especially having a flip screen. Sitting here, there's the Atomos recorder that actually gives me the better quality video that I like to get from my camera. I wish it did it internally. It doesn't, so there is that. And I also have a 17-inch Shinobi on this side because the smaller 5-inch screen, when it's at a distance, it doesn't work very well to kind of see what's going on. And my Nikon at times lose focus, which is annoying. There's a thing called gas, and that's what I want to get to in this video. Gear acquisition syndrome. And I think all of us suffer from that to a certain extent because we want to have the next best thing. Part of the issue is the way manufacturers structure their products. They don't make one particular camera at a decent price that can do everything. It's a lot of engineering that goes into that, so they expect to get a lot of money from it. Now, when you think about the Canon R3, the Sony A1, and the Nikon Z9, those top level cameras perform very well, but they're also expensive. There's some shortcomings. For example, the Canon R3, I like that camera because of the weight, and it's a bigger body I can use for photos and I can use it for videos. And the body only weight is less than 2 pounds, so that kind of sounded pretty good to me. The Nikon, on the other hand, and I think it's 3 pounds or close to 3 pounds if I remember correctly. But yeah, that's like body only, no battery. That's hefty. Coming back around to the FX30, because that was one of the main things, and gear acquisition syndrome, and do I really need it? To some extent, yes, I want a camera with a flip out screen. That would help me to sell off a lot of these things and also travel lighter. My big concern with that camera is the lack of an EVF. Does great for video, but no viewfinder. The screen is also not the greatest. I understand that Sony screen isn't the greatest. The one thing that I did love from my first time I got the Z6 to the Z6II is that back screen, pretty much what you see is what you get. And I know as I said in the camera to set that, but yeah, the screen is like, the back screen is like beautiful. I wish they made it into a flip out so you could see yourself when you are recording. That would be great. And it's not to see the entire thing because you're recording, you're talking to the camera. You don't need to have the screen to see yourself the entire time, but you need to kind of glimpse it every once in a while to kind of see, are you still in focus? Is it actually recording? Is the sound actually doing anything? So that's been my challenge with this camera. And when you look at my gear that I've been carrying around, I pretty much take everything in the kitchen sink with me. It's that old photography concept. Have it and not need it, and need it and not have it. Yeah, because if you have it and you don't need it, that's not so bad. But then if you travel with some gear and then you need something and it's back at home, you're kind of up the creek. I've lightened my load from what I used to have to kind of keep it simple, but I'm realizing that, some of the lenses that I have don't work out so well. My 14-30, for whatever reason, it just doesn't do well in this kind of recording. That does a lot of hunting. This does some every once in a while, but the 14-30, I don't know what it is. Oh, funny thing, I saw a Nikon video while I went down a Sony rabbit hole. And I said going down a Sony rabbit hole is because I wanted to make sure that I was choosing the right camera in the FX30. So I started to look at their line to see what they have. And then I decided, let me look at Nikon and my Z6 and what others are doing, what others are experiencing with the camera. And I came across this video from some Nikon engineers where they talked about the autofocus and for video, and that using 1.8 lenses are the best for video. And I'm sitting like, what the heck? And I remembered sitting in the same position recording the video the other day. My 14-30 was doing a lot of hunting. The 24-70, which I'm using right now, also went out of focus a few times, and I had to cover that up with some B-roll. The last video I did about the FX30, I actually used my 50mm 1.8. And I did a couple testing on that and it worked out pretty well. Let's try something right now. So I put my hand in front of the camera and it picks me up. This is kind of what I got with the 1.8. And a lot of times I've not used it. It's the lighter lens, but the range for internal shooting, 50mm is not that good when you're kind of sitting in an enclosed space. The 1.8 helps, but you have to get a little bit further from the camera. And right now I'm shooting at 24, bringing it a little bit closer to me, trying to do something to avoid the hunt that it does. I really don't know why it does it, but I tested this moment before I started recording the video just to check out a few things. And again, this is going from my hand back to my face, and it's pretty smooth. I don't know what's been happening because the light's been pretty much the same. Some days it's actually been brighter because it's been sunny outside. It's pretty much filtered light right now because it's been raining here for the past 3 to 4 weeks. Yeah, don't know what that is. But anyhow, this has got me thinking, should I hang on to my Z6 for a little bit longer or pick up the FX30 and see what that's like? I know myself personally, if I go in the store and I find it, I'm probably gonna pick it up to play around with it, see what it's like. But that means add another camera to carry around. Yeah, because getting your stuff sold and for a good price, I haven't really found any stores here in Southeast Asia. I've been in Thailand and there was a store that I picked up some gear from years ago, went back there, and I guess due to the pandemic, they went out of business. What was it? MBS Mall, I think it was called. There was quite a few camera shops in there that you could trade equipment in. I don't know where they went. They're not there. If anybody out there knows in Thailand and where these stores are where you can trade your equipment in new gear, let me know. Because from what I've been seeing in doing some research, Singapore prices and Thailand prices are with tax included, according to what Sony's website says. And looking at those prices, sometimes they're coming in cheaper than the US price without tax. So why wouldn't I buy it here? My last set of gear I bought from Hong Kong, and in Hong Kong it's no tax, which is fantastic. And lots of time the price is also less than in the US. Do I care if it's off-brand? Well, I shouldn't say off-brand. What do they call it? Gray market. No, I don't care. My Z6II I bought in the US. The Z6 was in Hong Kong. The DF, the D500, also in Hong Kong. Had them for years, no issues, they work fine. Well, lots of time in the US, people were about gray market equipment and whether or not it fails and if you're gonna get service for it. Personally, I don't even buy insurance for things that I don't need to buy insurance for because my stuff just works. I take care of them, but don't drop them. So, yeah. I was checking out the prices on the A7 IV and on the FX30. And for some odd known reason, the FX30 was priced higher than the A7 IV. And of course, that's what the handle. I was like, maybe I'll get the A7 IV. So of course I started doing some research on that as well. So we'll see. But what do you guys think? Are you having the same thoughts? Do you want to pick up the FX30, or do you want to stick with your Nikon, or whatever camera that you're coming from that you decide that you want to switch over to? Let me know in the comments. I'm having some thoughts, second thoughts, so to speak, so I want to see what everyone else is thinking. You know, we're all kind of go through this thing, and yeah, it is what it is. Do I need the new gear? Should I stick with my old gear? That's my dilemma right now. And yeah, taking off. Gonna enjoy some sunshine today while it's not raining. See you guys next time.